Hey guys, this is GamerCal. Welcome to the third of the Ruby Sapphire drafts here. This is EX Dragon. Man, still kind of reeling a little bit from last set. Not just the actual draft itself, the games were just very unlucky. I am of course recording this on the same day as I did the actual battles, so if you haven't seen them, you probably should go back and watch the stuff there. I was pretty hard done by for a lot of this one. This set, however, has the potential to bring a lot of stuff together that I do not currently have. So hopefully that is what we're going to see. The main thing from this set that I want to get, we need the Magneton because this is the energy retrieval aspect for Delcatty. That's going to make that engine extremely powerful. So we definitely need a couple of those. I was wanting Kingdra. Everybody else already has this though, so it wouldn't be special at this point, but it is still probably my favourite card of the era. Mostly because it follows the same thing, right, as the one that we've seen before. It is genetic memory, right? So we want this on principle. I, however, have my eyes on Rayquaza, not because I want it, but because I can trade this for Gardevoir. I have had the gauntlet given to me. If I get Rayquaza, I can trade them for Matt's Gardevoirs, because he wants to play this with Blaziken, and whilst that would give him a very powerful deck, it would give us a deck that's on the map, because I can then trade my Blaziken to Pepper for his Gardevoir, and he would have Blaziken as a viable option. I would have Gardy as a very viable option at that point. We'll see. Maybe that will be the case. Hopefully we've got to get in there before that gets like snatched up though. As far as the promos and stuff go here though, there's a couple other cards I want to speak on here, but as far as the promos, since we're here, none of them is super good. There's a marginal upgrade to our Torchic and Mudkip here, but I think the Mudkip in this set is arguably just as good as this. And then Ludicolo would be fine, but Matt's the only one who can play it and he won't. And this isn't the best one anyway. And then what is up with this attack cost? I've just got to ask. Not mad, just asking for a friend, because a friend is mad. Alright, deck-wise, this is Flygon and Salamence as the decks here. So we mostly want to just briefly touch on these because there's a couple of different versions of these dragons. These are the non-holo versions, which don't have a weakness and don't have a resistance. They all still take 2 colored energy types for their attacks, which is kind of annoying, but we can work around that. We've got stuff we can do for that. Otherwise, the decks aren't like super impressive. The Cordon in here is kind of okay. Like, it will just do 60 for free, which is fairly respectable. We're mostly looking at the TV Reporter, one of the best cards of this set. Draw 3 cards, then discard any card from your hand. Really amazing. And then they have a couple of stadiums too. High Pressure System is the better one, so we'll have to hopefully see that through the set, but we'll talk about it when we do. And then as far as the actual main set goes here, Flygon is the one I'd be most interested in seeing, if we can get hold of this, because this is the next Ho-Oh with Rainbow Burn, so I would like to see it, because I think the deck is cool. Don't think it's like amazing, but I think it's cool. One thing to note with these holographic Pokemon though, with their dragons, they have a specific extra resistance. Like, they're weak to Colorless to represent the dragon weakness, but they have a special resistance too. Like, all of them resist fighting, but there's a few that resist grass. There's one that resists fire, the Salamence over here. This is very unusual. Fire almost never gets resisted in the TCG. This is one of the very few times that happens. But like, the Flygon was lightning, that was fire, the Rayquaza is water, and this is the reason why it's probably good to try in the Blaziken deck, because Blaziken obviously is fully weak to water. Interestingly enough, the Latias is resistant to Psychic, which is cool, because you don't tend to see that. Right, so without further ado, let us load in these cards and see what we can get here. So we're starting off with a couple of interesting notes, I guess. The Salamence does discard an energy to do 60. You could probably use this with either Swampert or Blaziken, because Swampert could attach that energy from hand and then manual attach to one on the bench. Blaziken can recover the fire that you discard with this, and then you just attach from hand every turn. So you could stream it, and Intimidating Fang is pretty good, right? Girafarig is an interesting going second searcher. If the opponent puts an energy on their active, then you can just search for any card out of your deck, but this requires you to not play Dunsparce turn 1. So it's a little awkward, but I think Lynette decks could probably use this because the psychic typing is different from the other stuff you'd be searching. So there are some worlds where that could be okay. Whizcash is like Quagsire from Neo Genesis, except without the resistance. More HP though, and it's got an ability to prevent being damaged on the bench, but Xatu gets around that by putting damage counters down. Weezing does not, however, so you might be able to get away with it with that. There's like 3 different Vibrava in this set, and this is the worst one, so we're not going to bother with that. Shoutouts to Wurmple though. Maybe if I could trade for like one what is it, Silcoon, I could maybe play Beautyfly if I really wanted to. Don't really see a reason to though, but search your deck for any number of grass basics and bench them is pretty good. If you are playing just pure grass, that's just better than Dunsparce, right? So, super neat. Whoa, okay, so we have a secret rare here. These are 1 per box on average, if I remember right, like maybe 1 per 2 boxes. I think it might be 1 per. I did not have Charmeleon from the base set of Expedition, right? I have the Charizard, and the Charizard is theoretically still decent. Probably not as good now that Kingdra is everywhere, but in theory it's still good. And this would be my way of playing like a stage 1 in that build, so I'm okay with it. It's not the greatest one, it's probably the worst of the 3 secret rares to be honest, but it's a Charmeleon and I would need one, so there is that. Yo, straight in with a lot more. Okay, this is looking much better than my previous draft so far, because Sandstorm is just really bad, right? Dragonair, mostly just needed to play the Dragonite if we do pull it. It's not amazing, but it does have a couple of resistances and it looks pretty, so there you go. Golem is unfortunately very expensive. I'm not really sure how you would power this up, but like Rock Slide is a decent spread move. 60 and 20 to 2 of the opponent's bench, right? But how are you getting 5 energy on this thing? And it's weak to Kingdra, which unfortunately, since everybody else has done their draft so far, Kingdra is everywhere, so not really playable. Latias, on the other hand, I think Psy has got the best chance of making this work, because you need to specifically discard a fire and a water. Blaziken in theory could run this, but Blaze attaches to the bench. What you want to do with this is you want to manually attach fire and accelerate water every turn. If you can get Magneton Swampert going, this will hit 100 every turn and would be very, very good for it. I only have 1 Swampert though, so it's probably not super playable for me, but we'll see. Seadra, this is the best Seadra. Remember, Kingdra's got genetic memory, so you want to copy the best attack possible. Water Arrow for 1 energy would be that attack. 30 Snipe anywhere is really good. Energy Cannon is also fine. You can use this just going forward. It's not bad. Well, I did want it. We have it there. So, Crawdaunt first though. I think this is a reasonable attacker for the spread stuff. Boost energy 60 if they have damage counters on them, so I think this hits a decent weakness as well, so definitely worth considering. Flygon. We need the Vibrava to go with this, but it's a rare. We should be able to pick them up. Grass Lightning. Attach any number of basic energy from your hand to your Pokemon in any way that you like. The Vibrava lets you search for 3 different types of basic energy on any color, so that works out well. And then Lady Outing would be the other way that you could use this. So you could accelerate like 5-6 energy across the turns. And then Rainbow Burn, of course, 60 for 3, 70 for 4. This at least hits for 3 energy, not for 4 energy. So you can attack earlier with this. Really nice. Houndoom, unfortunately, super power crept at this point. It's very similar to the original Houndoom, but that wasn't good even in its time. And then we have Buffer Piece. This is Defender on a Pokemon tool, so you can only attach 1 of it. and it doesn't stop your own damage, so you can't take down, say, with this and prevent your own recoil. Still a good card, still potentially going to see play. That's the third Golem. Are you kidding me? Crazy stuff. I'd be a little bit more like hyped about this Numel if we had the camera up from before, but Matt was the one that pulled that, so unfortunately nothing going there. This is the same attack as what Blaine's Charmander had, and that was a pretty toxic deck in its own right. So combine this with the Blaziken to accelerate that energy next turn and power up stuff on the bench. You can disrupt whilst also getting stuff going. High Pressure System is kind of a good card to look at here. You do pay less to retreat your grass and... no, not grass. Fire and water Pokemon. I actually think I got Low Pressure System to talk about at the top as well. But this one's much better because you can use this to then retreat into Dunsparce and get your field set up. So, very good. We did get the Low Pressure System. This gives Grass and Lightning Pokemon plus 10 HP. It's a bit too insignificant for most situations, but given that Magneton is one of the best bench sitters here, giving it 80 HP is probably decent. And it's a good counter stadium for the High Pressure System, if nothing else. Alright, moving on. We got one. Okay, that is a good start. Let's talk about the Torkoal here real quick, because it is a holo. It's a terrible one, but it is a holo, right? It has Magneton's ability on an attack, but on a free energy retreater is just not worth it. Auto Burn is nice for one fire, but if you flip Tails you gotta discard an energy on it, so it's really not amazing, to be honest. Rayquaza though. So this card could be pretty crazy. Flip until you get Tails for each energy, for each head, search your discard for a basic energy and attach it to this thing. Rayquaza often does this in the TCG, where it's like it potentially has a crazy way of getting a ton of energy on itself by an attack, and then it discards all of those energy to do a ton of damage. In this case, it's either all fire or all lightning attached to it, and it does 40 for every energy that you discarded. So the current combination would be with Blaziken to discard like 2 or 3 fires, do a one-shot, and then have a couple of Blaziken in play, accelerate them to the bench. Like you play a switch to go into a zero retreat mon, accelerate to the Rayquaza, retreat out, do it again. Chain the attack. That's the idea. I don't have the setup for it, but Matt potentially does, so we'll see how that goes. We have ourselves the Flygon over here. Flygon, if you flip heads, you reduce damage done to it by 20, which is pretty cool. And then Air Slash, triple energy, 2-colored, 60. I mean, 60 is decent for free energy, but if you flip Tails, you gotta discard one. It's a bit rough, but you could probably use it with the other one. Just getting the guaranteed 60 is pretty respectable. Let's talk a little bit about Minun, because Plusle and Minun both have this thing. They're supposed to be doubles Pokemon, right? Where if you use your other Pokemon to attack, and you have an energy on the Minun as well, you can use Cheer On, which heals 10 from all of your Pokemon. This is pretty solid, and even in singles, Spread was extremely powerful this round. This could be a decent tech against Xatu specifically. Special Circuit is also pretty interesting here. It does 40 to a Pokemon that has a Pokepower or a Pokebody, which is actually really good. A lot of the bench sitters have got that, right? This will 2-shot Delcatty or 2-shot Magneton on the bench. Really good, actually. 50 HP brings it down, but it's actually definitely a solid card otherwise. There's the Flygon. Is that the second one? It is the second one. Ooh, that is pretty tempting then. Alright, but we do have Skarmory as well. This card unfortunately has a big red flame on the bottom of it, so we can't really play it if Matt is going to stick to Blaziken, as he's hinted he will. However, its attack is actually pretty solid. If the opponent's got more than 5 cards in hand, you look at their hand and discard until... it's not discard, you shuffle them into deck until they have less than 6 cards. So you can shuffle away their supporter if they only have 1. Power count is also interesting against energy acceleration decks. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact of Blaziken specifically is a thing, I think this could be okay. Maybe in a multi-energy deck you could argue this. If the opponent's got more energy than you have in play, this does 50 damage for 2 energy. It doesn't hit much for, it doesn't hit like anything for weakness, unfortunately, but we'll see. Here is our first Magneton. This is incredibly important. We need 2 of this, really. Its attack is pretty solid as well. Like, if you have the energy acceleration, 10 damage for every energy that's in play on your side. So if you are actually doing well in your acceleration game, you could easily hit like 70 with this. It's pretty good. Its ability is where it actually comes in though. You, if you have basic energies in your discard pile, discard any card from your hand, search for 2 basic energy, put them into hand. You can't return the same card, it's the same as energy retrieval that way, so you do have to have energy in the discard already, but it's very, very good. This with Delcatty is like an infinite draw engine, basically. Here is Mr. Briny's Compassion, probably the best card out of this one. This is a guaranteed scoop up for non-EX Pokemon. This is an excellent healing tool, if nothing else, and definitely a powerful one to have. Unfortunately, Wailord can't use it because he's an EX, but still, excellent card. Here's the Vibrava that I wanted. We need to see a few of these, to be honest, because Wally is probably the best way of getting this deck online. Dragon Spark is an interesting attack as well, right? Like a Grass Lightning, if you flip heads, it is a Spinning Tail from Steelix, but for 2 energy. So this is a respectable attack in its own right. We could definitely make a lot of use out of this. So hopefully we get more of them. Huh. Well, there is the Secret Rare Charizard as well. I didn't quite expect to see this too. Okay, so Charizard here is rather expensive, but can also potentially get itself set up very well. 2 energy, 30 damage. If you flip heads, you get 2 fires from your discard pile onto the Charizard. So that immediately sets it up for Flame Pillar, which is 60. And if you want to discard a fire, Snipe 30. This is boost energy compatible, although you probably don't want to boost energy this because then you can't attack next turn. That's strong. That is very strong, but it has a big blue splodge on the bottom of it, so it's probably not amazing. But it is super tempting. If you use this with the other Charizard actually, you could turn the boost energy into fire and then discard the boost energy instead, so you could collect fire next turn. That's tempting. If we ever play Charizard, that's a very good one to have around. Here there are 4 cards, I guess, that are kind of worth talking on. Horsey is worth noting because it's only 40 HP, but it does have Retaliate and Smokescreen. These are both fantastic attacks. You probably take this over the 50 HP ones we have. Smokescreen is super annoying, so you can copy that with Kingdra and it'll be great. Ninjask, if you have the Shedinja, which is a holo, so you know, good luck, but if you have it, you can search it from deck when you evolve into this thing. And then Quick Touch is really kind of nice. It's Baton Pass from Ledian. Switch Ninjask to one of your bench if you choose to, and move any number of grass energies you want to the new active. So, kind of cool. Plusle is the counterpart to Minun here. You can use Cheeron with this as well. It'll be very funny actually to use 2 of these in doubles, right? Because it only stops you using Cheeron more than once. So you can, it's the same power, it's the same name, so you can't like do it 3 times basically. By using it as your actual attack and then Chain of Events it. You can only Chain of Events once, but it still has the heal thing. This one snipes EXs instead, so maybe not quite as impressive. I think it's really still quite good though, because 2 energy, 40 damage on an EX is really good, so we'll see. Speaking on EXs, we have probably the worst one here. Golem is a unfortunate case. 60 for free is somewhat respectable, but it does damage to all Pokemon in play, which is not amazing. And then 5 energy, 120, but 50 to itself, so it kills its own tanking potential. 5 energy retreat cost too. You can boost energy this, but that's asking for a lot. I'm not really sure if there's a home for this card, to be honest, but Does a lot of damage, so I guess there is that. Oh, there's an interesting pack. Right, so obviously the Vibrato, really good. Flaffy is an interesting one to look at here if we do pull the Ampharos. I think there's only one Ampharos in the pool right now, so like that could be traded for, and it would be a very interesting deck to play. This energy recall attack is definitely a good way to use it. Latios is in an unfortunate spot here. Latias is definitely way better. Latios doesn't have energy acceleration to go with it outside of Venusaur, which I've unfortunately established is not amazing. And it discards 3 energy instead of 2. I don't know how you get the extra energy on every turn. That's the bit which is like not possible to figure out. That said, it shares its attacking costs with Flygon, so I don't think it's worth it. Energy Stream is interesting though, like you can get an extra energy out on the first turn, which would be pretty cool, but then you're putting your Latios in danger, so it's an unfortunate Pokemon here. Speaking of unfortunate Pokemon, this is one I really wish I didn't get. We got a second Magneton, so I have what I want off of that, which is really good. Buffer Piece Balloonberry gets a reprint in here, so we can use our copies of that from before. Here is Mach EX. Yes, Mach is back, and yes, it's still stupid powerful. It's not as ridiculous this time though, because it does need to be in the active in order to do its thing, but it's the same as before. It ignores all other powers in play, powers and bodies. You can't disable this by using a status condition, because it doesn't have that clause on it. Why is this still here? Its attacks are not amazing though, and it does have to be active, so there is something to note with that. 10 damage plus auto poison for 1 energy is fine. It's a decent enough Wally target turn 1. 40 for 3, 2 of which have to be grass, is rough. 10 more for each Colorless in the opponent's retreat cost, so a lot of things having like 3 energy to retreat means this can do 70. Like a standard 2 energy retreater would take 60 from this. So it's passable, but it is not amazing, and definitely a watered down version that is still going to see play because it is still super obnoxious. Matt's got 3 of this. The other 2 don't have any, but Matt has got 3, and that is very possible to see. This pack has not got anything too special. I don't think we've seen Fortress yet. It's not really amazing. It'd be fine in doubles. 2 damage counters on each defending Pokemon is kind of neat for 2 energy. But 40 discarded energy then switch? No, not good enough, I'm afraid. Oh, there's an interesting pack. Okay, so 3rd Magneton, that's really good, I guess, because I think I can trade that. One of the others only pulled 1 Magneton, I think it was Pepper, so we can probably trade that. The Crawdon, we can supplement this with the one that's in the theme deck. Like I said, it's better in doubles because it works on your other active as well, but even by itself, it's 60 for a relatively non-committal 3 energy, right? 1 water, 2 colorless, you can easily splash this in any deck that's running multi-energy, and it's alright. It's pretty good damage. Magcargo is a very interesting one that a couple of people have here, including Matt, so his fire deck is just getting stronger here. Melting Mountain is an interesting attack, because if you play enough energy, you discard an energy from the top of your deck off of this, or if you rearrange them with like Oracle or something, discard the top from your deck and then attach it as an energy here. And Lava Flow is very similar to what it was before in the Neo Revelation one, except you can discard any basic energy that's on this thing. So you don't have to play this in a pure fire deck. You could actually play this with Swampert, believe it or not, and attach extra water per turn and use those waters as the discards instead. Of course, you can still just play this with Blaziken and just attach the stuff from discard that way. You could even technically play this with Gardevoir, but you're doing too much damage to yourself at that point. Not impressive in that aspect, but this is a really good card. I don't know if I have the home for it though, so a little bit of a shame on that. I'm not impressed. Oh man, I think I may have talked about this Marshtomp before, but if I haven't, this is probably the best one we have at the moment. 2 energy, 20, snipe 10, it's got 80 HP, retreat cost is fine, so it's cool. Swallow, you have quick dive on this. If you can keep flipping heads, it's snipe 50 any way you want for 2 energy on a 0 retreat dude, pretty cool. Clutch is also quite nice as well to just stop retreating, it forces the opponent to warp point and whatnot, so respectable, considering the other one is also like a Pokemon, like it forces the opponent to switch. Let's see. Anything good in here? I guess the Grovyle is probably the best one we have at the moment. That's sad to say, because it's not even that good, to be honest. You're averaging 30 damage for 2 energy. I think actually no, the Natural Cure one is probably still better, and that's depressing. What else we got? 4 Magneton, really good. Another Brinies is super good, so we're happy enough to see these. Moving on. Energy Recycle System is something we haven't seen yet, I don't think. You search your deck, discard part of basic energy, you either add 1 to the hand, or shuffle 3 to the deck. Pretty cool. This would be really good for Gardevoir because you can shuffle the energy into deck and then accelerate them with the Gardevoir. So we've still got a fair few packs to go here. Maybe we can actually pull the Rayquaza to trade here. Would be really good. There's a Shelgon here as well if you do want to play Salamence. It's kind of neat. It's mostly the fire resistance would be cool here. The attack is expensive, but Scrunch is good. Right, like Chansey was decent in base set. This is a stage 1 Chansey, but that's still not terrible, to be honest. Moving on. More of the Seadra, that's good. The Skarmory is decent too. Gyarados is too expensive. Its first attack is flippy, but 10 discarded energy could be okay, but 5 energy to do its second attack is too much. 80 damage is solid. You could maybe justify playing this in Sceptile, where you could transfer the energy to it, or with like a heavy boost energy setup, but it's a bit hard to properly consider. Oh, we actually did pull the second Rayquaza. Oh, this draft just got a lot more interesting. Ooh, you can't see me because I don't have a camera on here, but I am doing the finger thing right now with twiddling my thumbs. This is very interesting. Okay, 2 Rayquaza. That is tradable. I think we might do it because I really want to see Gardevoir played in this round. Okay, last third of the pack, let's see what we can do. Another Crawdaunt is good. I don't know where I'm going to play it, right? But like, I could just play it by itself. I have a 101 Swampert, so it's not amazing, but I could always run it there. Or, who knows? Who knows at this point? Let's keep going. A second Golem. I have the regular one too. I am not playing Golem. I do not see the potential for it here. It's just too expensive. I said I'm not playing Golem, god damn it. Okay, Briny's Compassion is good. Have we seen TV Reporter yet though? That might be the one concern. Yeah, another Latias. What is up with these? Wow. Wow, okay. This is unfortunately not Latias, that would have been interesting, but then again, I can't play Latias, so maybe I don't even care that way. Girafarig we've seen, but it's still kind of neat. Shelgon, not really super good here. Oh, I didn't mention this for Bava before. It's fine. If we have to play this one, we have to play this one. If it's got energy on and it's got 0 retreat, I guess that's fine. Next up, too many Shelgon. Far too many Shelgon. Buffer piece is still fine though. I like to see enough of those, but I would like a TV reporter. Whoa! 2 Macargo, huh? Okay, how am I going to use that when I do not have enough Blaziken for it? I don't know, we'll have to find out. More Vibava is good though. I think that's the 3rd one, so happy with that at this point. Moving on. It's looking like I'm not going to get TV reporters, which is unfortunate. This Magneton's not really worth anything, but it is the one that's in the deck, so go figure. Triple Smash is just super bad. It's unfortunate. This Camerupt is also not worth anything, unfortunately. Just a very, very boring Pokemon, really. How many of these? Oh, just the 2 left. Okay, well, I can't complain. We've had a ton of awesome stuff out of this. This is like the 4th or maybe even 5th Brightness Compassion that I have here. I could maybe trade that for something that would be really good. And then last one, a 3rd Flygon. Yo! Oh, that's sick. Okay, I didn't get Kingdra, which shock horror, right? There was like 6 Kingdra pulled already, but ooh, I think the gauntlet has been laid with this one. Yeah, my big concern is that I didn't get TV Reporter. I'm pretty sure I didn't, because I'm pretty sure I'd have mentioned that if I got it. So that is a worry. But I think I can, so long as I get Steven's advice in Hidden Legends, I think I can be okay with not getting that. So let's just group these up here. We're going to save our stuff. We'll save this one first. So this is in draft sets. We are in, which one is this now? Set 18? Yeah, 18. Hard to imagine, right? We've been at this for a decent while, but it's kind of crazy just thinking how many of these we have already done. This is under spares. 18 Dragon, and let us crack these open real quick and see exactly where we ended up. This was amazing, to be honest. I might not have gotten the Kingdra, but look at everything else that we picked up here. Our spares, I don't think there's anything too special here this round. We are probably, yeah, not really invested in any of this as far as, like, you know, guaranteed trade stuff. The Shelgon, I think everybody else already picked up enough of. Everybody else got the Holo Salamence that I didn't, so I guess that's the thing. I didn't get Dragonite, but I don't need Dragonite with that. I hate that this card exists, but we could definitely play it. It's not awful. 4 Magneton is amazing. I don't need 4, so I can probably trade a spare one of this. 4 Golem is hilarious. I actually didn't get that many Graveler, but there are Gravelers we could play beforehand. This Graveler's okay though. Like, Magnitude is decent enough. If we wanted to play this, I'm sure we could trade for it. Pebble Throw is Snipe 10, so I guess that's fine. Got the Charmeleon and the Charizard. Bit of a shame we didn't get the Charmander actually, because it has Rage, so it would have been a very good Memory Berry target, but it is what it is. Yeah, the other thing we missed, like I said, we missed the Salamence. I'm not convinced this is a good deck yet, but others have pulled enough of this to try it, and I want to be proven wrong, so hopefully that actually happens. It'd be very cool. What else have we got in here? 2 of the good Decidueye. I don't need this. I think the Decidueye that I already have is good enough, the Aquapolis one, so I can probably trade these to people who actually have the Kingdra and can make it work, so I'll be happy with that. 2 of the Macargo, and also 4 of the Slugma too. This wasn't necessarily guaranteed. This is probably the best Slugma that we have at the moment, so if I want to play this, that's fine. Oh, never mind, this is probably the best Torchic that we have at the moment. 50 HP, decent enough attack. We've got 1 each of the Minun plus Plusle, which is pretty neat. Just a 1 Torkoal, so not wasting too much there. And then look at this package here. A whole bunch of Trapinch. We have a Trapinch from the previous set as well. It has Sand Tomb, which stops retreating, but it's also 40 HP, so I don't know. Jury's out on that one. But we've got 3 Vibrava and 3 Holo Flygon over here. This is excellent. I think we can definitely make something work with this. We have access to the 2 Crawdaunt, which is pretty good. I could take the deck to get the 3rd one. And then look down here. 1 Latias, 2 Latios, 2 Rayquaza. But here's where the problems potentially start. I was correct. 0 TV Reporter. That's going to be a problem. 3 High Pressure System is good. The buffer pieces are amazing. Like, I could definitely play this in certain decks, so it would be very good. Only 1 Recycle System. I don't think we've had this card yet before, so I might want to fish one of those out. I think there's a deck that has it, we'll look in a sec. Only 1 Low Pressure System, but this card isn't great anyway, so I don't really care. And then the Balloon Berry we have plenty of before. but I can trade those to Matt as well. So let's take a quick look at those decks, because this is the card we missed out on, and this is the huge card from this set too. Draw 3 cards, then discard any one. We haven't had discard synergies yet, so this with the Magneton is going to be incredible. There's been plenty of times where you want to keep hold of the hand you have, but you need to draw more cards, and Birch doesn't do it because you've got too many cards in hand. You can't shuffle draw. This is great. Luckily, both decks have 2 copies, so we can still pick this up, but it is a little bit unfortunate that I didn't get many of them. It's looking pretty clear that I need to take the bottom deck here, because the only things the top deck has is the low pressure system that I only pulled 1 of, but I don't really want it anyway because it doesn't do enough, and the Roselia, which I didn't pull and isn't stellar, but this would have been a decent enough like engine as well. Attach 2 grass energy from your hand to your Pokemon in any way that you like every turn would be very solid. This would be a good like manual acceleration. Yes, you're not using Dunsparce, but this is still really good. So that would have been cool, but I didn't pull it anyway, so I think our obvious choice is the bottom deck here, because we get a spare high pressure system. I'm pretty sure that Matt didn't get many of these, so he'd probably want to trade for one. And we have the Crawdon, which I pulled 2 copies of, so we could easily play this too. I would not mind trying this out somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where, but I wouldn't mind trying it out because I think it's decent enough damage for the energy cost. So yeah, multi-energy, say what? I mean, Matt's got multi-energy as well, spares, so I can maybe trade for that too. I think this is the one we've got to take. So let's just quickly bring this over. We're gonna have to filter the stuff again, but that is fine. We'll bring it over. I probably didn't need to bring the energy in here as well though, so maybe I should just do this outside things. Things just got very interesting in this though. This is one heck of a draft, I'm gonna say. Super intriguing to see how this is going to go. Let's just remove all the extra excess. I mean, this should be just 4 copies of these at this point, so I can easily get rid of those. And we have our fully set up thing to save. So this is now back under this. I mean, yeah, I should probably have done this beforehand, like not saved them beforehand. You guys just get to see even more of the behind the scenes stuff with it here, so it's all good. So re-looking at things, this is what we have picked up. The big flaw is the TV reporter. I think 2 is going to be okay. I would have liked to have seen 3 though. Like, even if I just pulled 1 copy of it, I think that would have been better. But this draft has given me 2 brand new decks guaranteed, and if I can trade correctly, has given me a 3rd one as well in the Gardevoir. I think this week is going to be very interesting, and I think we're finally going to be at a point where all 4 of our main combatants have got energy acceleration decks. This is exciting, very exciting. I hope we can play something a lot better than this week because of this, and I hope to see you guys, you know, actually like watch the deck stuff as well, because it'll be cool. Maybe I'll do another profile one as well and actually just show the deck as I make it this week as well. We will see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's been a decently long one for this here compared to some of the other draft openings at the moment, but there was a lot to talk about here because we got some very cool cards. I will see you next time.